Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Thank you.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Legion entered channel.
You gonna join my party or what? The second game is not doing so well for Archon. Oof. Chiefs won 30-6. Ouch. Or 30-0.
Radiant team back. Dire team back. team ban.
Unmuted and undeafened.
Seconds remaining.
Duska.
Dire team pick.
Good evening and welcome to the Season 10 of the AD2L. And I'm joined this evening by Legion 170. Legion, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you, Sequoia?
Oh, not too shabby. We got not another Dota clan versus Dumpster Squad this evening. And Phoenix first pick is actually pretty shocking.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, that's ballsy. I guess that maybe they pick it a lot, and so they think there's gonna be banned in the second phase. I don't really know if it's like in their history or something like that. I didn't get a chance to look, but Death Prophet and Tusk is a little bit more standard for what you're seeing in this meta from first phase.
You're actually seeing a lot of Sand King bans, too. I've been noticing that a lot today. Not a lot of picks because he's usually banned or ignored, but so that doesn't super surprise me, but man, Phoenix first pick, wow. Maybe they just have a really good Phoenix player.
The Sand King, once he gets Ags, is just it's a ridiculous hero now. That Burrow Strike gets so long, and the application of the Nether Tox or the Caustic Finale is just, it does a ton of damage in team fights. So you don't only have to rely on the epicenter anymore. You have a lot more tools once you get that Ags up. Again, the Phoenix is kind of surprising, but you know, if they're gonna go for these team fight AOE type lineup, then you know, and they're worried that it might get banned because of their pick histories, then you know, it's good to pick it up whenever, I guess.
So on the Sand King, there was an interesting conversation between some other casters, and they were saying that they don't think one guy, he was all by himself. He said that you don't necessarily need to pick up a Blink Dagger or not. Do you agree or disagree with that?
It just kind of depends on how the game's going. Like, I think that he's probably right that you don't necessarily need to pick up Blink. You know, you could go something that maybe is a little bit easier to accumulate over time. Maybe go like a Force Staff. Or maybe bypass it all together and get the eggs. It just depends on how well your farm is going and what you're going to do. If they're going to like jungle farm it, which I'd be a little surprised that they did that because you haven't seen it a lot. Most teams elect to either offlane it or have it as a support, but I would assume that this is going to be a jungle with the Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix support is not very viable at all, and I think for a first pick it has to be offlane.
So they followed up with a Crystal Maiden, which, I mean, I guess if you're going to be greedy, go greedy to the extreme. So maybe two junglers here, potentially. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on who they pick up as their carry, but Crystal Maiden most likely a lane support. Still more good AoE. You know, so if they do have all these ults up at the right time and the right items, they could do some damage. I mean, it's going to be a very early timing window for them.
Yeah, their AoE is going to be very, very scary, but I don't know if... I mean, even with the AoE, that Death Prophet's all... Oh, it's so painful. I'm kind of bummed. I really enjoyed not ever seeing her in pubs, and now it's kind of the opposite of what we've been seeing lately. She just wrecks people with that ult.
Well, she's still not going to be able to stand in the face of all that AoE, though. I mean, unless she gets like a shallow grave really early, there's no way that she's going to stand up to the epicenter as well as the egg and the freezing field.
The nice thing is the egg should be pretty effective. If they get hit, if the egg should be pretty decent against her because the ult's not going to really help it at all.
No, but it's going to do enough damage that I don't know that you can just say that she's going to wreck these guys with her ult. It's all going to depend on their ult timing so far.
So you think Tusk offlane or support?
Most likely offlane, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much set there. I mean, it could be a core venge, but you definitely aren't seeing it much in this batch so far.
You see Tusk support a lot more in like pro scene as well, because it's a little bit harder to pull off, I think, and the pro scene the supports roam a lot more as well. In more amateur leagues and then in pubs and stuff, you see Tusk go the off lane because he can get items and farm that way, and the off laners tend to be a little bit more aggressive than some of the supports do. So it looks like they're going to need
kind of an
a
interesting
mid.
combination.
It's more protection. I mean, you've got protection there, and then you've got the minus armor. Yeah, this could be a core eventual to you, I guess. It wouldn't be bad to pair it with the dazzle. Then you'd have a little bit bonus range, then pick up another support there. But I would lean more towards it being the support and them needing a carry. While not another Dota clan needs a mid hero. Somebody that can go toe to toe with that Cribulus Razor might not be bad.
I like the Razor pick quite a bit. Decent against her nuking, and then also has the ability to kind of get in there. Unfortunately, I haven't actually seen what happened, who wins against the Razor ability and then the Life Siphon. I don't know who would actually be able to go toe to toe if you both got those abilities off on each other.
Yeah, I don't really know, but I know that Razor would be able to farm effectively against her, and he'd add into that AoE kind of push that they've got going on here. TA would be good as well because she could just put up refraction, and there wouldn't be that much the Death Prophet could do to stop her from farming, and then that dire side advantage as well. So either of those would probably be decent picks. Trying to think who else that we've seen a lot. Zeus might be a good pick here as well.
I do like the Viper ban
AoE
from Dumpster. I think that was a pretty clever ban.
Yeah, Viper is one of those things that you never want to play against, but I don't know. I kind of like to see him in the off lane a little bit more in the mid lane, but it would have been a pickup. They're just definitely taking their time here with this. They're considering all their options.
They got quite a bit of time, so it's something they can do pretty feasibly.
So what are you thinking for a carry for Dumpster Squad? Because
trying to
TL and
think of that
Gyro are
right
both
now.
out. It's the Juggernaut's in there still, so I mean I think he'd be a good pickup and good speed to get for that killing that egg. But if you wanted to stack auras, Luna maybe, Ember Spirit, okay. It's gonna be a little bit of a tough lane for the Ember Spirit against the Death Prophet, but not unwinnable.
Wow,
And the
go
Ursa
for the
pickup.
Ursa. I mean,
Okay, I like that.
pretty
he's
good
gonna be
with the
able
Dazzle
to-
and Venge.
He's gonna be able to murder the Crystal Maiden and the egg as well. So you know if he gets Fury swipes off on that egg, he's gonna kill it in no time at all. So it's a pretty good pickup. I'm worried about their kind of lack of range and their timing window. Ursa's gonna have to get really good timing on his Vlads, and he's gonna have to hit that Ursa or that Roshan pit, probably level 5, and they're just gonna have to snowball because I like the timing window a little bit more on NA. This team.
They kind of have. It seems to me that NA kind of has more of a draft that's a little bit more flexible. You don't need to do really well versus the Dumpster Squad really has a snowballing lineup.
Well, yeah, NA needs to. They need to do well in that the AM and the Ember need to farm, but the other three don't really need that much in terms of items. So once they hit level 6, they could just kind of deathball and win a couple fights, and then they should be good. Whereas Dumpster Squad, yeah, they're gonna have to snowball. I don't know, off the Ursa. It's gonna be. I don't know. I don't really know whose draft I like more. I think both are interesting drafts. The Phoenix. It could come down to that Phoenix, really. She could either win it or lose it.
Yeah,
I haven't
I
seen a
don't
lot of
disagree with that.
effective Phoenixes lately.
I haven't either. It seems like the egg goes in and then just immediately dies. The games that I've seen lately, but looks like we're gonna see a little Ruin contestant up here on the top lane.
And this is definitely in the favor of NA, I think. They've got the stuns here. Oh, the Sand King missed the Ursa, though. If he would have hit the Ursa, that definitely would have gone for them. But now instead, the Ember's going to die. And they might actually get more. No, the Anti-Mage is in some trouble. No. Okay. Yeah, they'll just back off. The Ember Spirit's the only casualty. Man, that Sand King, he hit 3, but if he would have hit the Ursa, I think they would have gotten first blood.
Yeah, that Ursa's Fury swipes are just hurt so bad. Oh, he
And
doesn't even
you've
have
got
it.
the
He
pole
just has
camp
the-
down on Radiant's been warded up here in the meantime.
And here we go.
Now it looks like they're going to aggro try, so it's going to be try on try is going to make things pretty interesting. It's going to make the Phoenix's life a lot easier too, going against just that Tuskar. Tuskar's not going to be able to do a ton against her. She can just dive away if he ever gets shards or whatever off, and in the meantime, it's going to make Anti-Mage's life kind of hell. And then Sankey's going to die here. Yep, he went the wrong way. He needed to go the other way, and actually the Dazzle heal comes through and deals a lot of damage to the Anti-Mage, but he blinks away.
Yeah, these supports are pretty good in a aggressive tri-lane. Well, I didn't think about it until I saw it, but I mean, they can not only provide really good cover for Ursa, but they can also get him out of really bad situations with the heal bombs and whatnot.
Yeah, and the NA supports are not good for tri-lanes. They aren't really that... I mean, the Crystal Maiden can freeze someone, and you know, she can frostbite someone, but that's about all her defensive capabilities are at this point. The Crystal Nova do a little bit to slow people down. The Sand King, level 1 stun, he's not going to do anything. He needs... I mean, the whole point of this hero, I think, in their draft was to farm him, and he's not going to be able to get anything. And he's trying to, like, sneak around and be cheeky and maybe get a backline stun, but they see him.
I think this is a pretty clever laning move for Dumpster Squadron.
Yeah, it was really insightful. I mean, they knew that NA wanted to be a little greedy and farm the jungle a little bit, and so they picked with the intention of going into this aggro try to stop them from doing that. So a very good decision by the captain or whoever picks in there. I don't know if the captain's pick or not.
Yeah, I don't actually know either. What's kind of surprising is this mid lane. So we have an Ember Spirit going against a Crobulus, and the Crobulus is 6-1 and the Ember's 11-2. The lane's going very well for Ember Spirit, considering.
Yeah, especially since he gave up First Blood, it's kind of surprising that he's doing this well, but he's kind of double... He's got 2 levels in the Steering Chains and 2 levels in Flame Guard, so he's going to be kind of tanky, and if Crob gets too isolated with him, then he can just throw up the Searing Chains and walk away. And he's got bottle now, so he should be able to regen this fairly
top lane.
decently.
Ursa's going deep. He's got the bear stomp. He's going for Crystal Maiden. The Fury swipes her out, but he gets frozen. Now Anti-Mage and Sand King are inbound. Dazzle gets a heal off on him. Shallow Graves saves him. And now Ursa wants AM, but it's nothing going to happen. I think everyone's walking away from this one unless they can pick off the Vengeful. I don't think Sand King is going to go for it, though. He's out of mana.
He doesn't have enough mana.
Yeah, I guess he's got a Mango, but that's not.
But they had nothing to follow it up with,
No.
though, so you don't want to waste that Mango on a stun that's not going to get you anything.
Ah, we forgot to do our Infamous Mango count, too. I forget about that sometimes. It's one of my favorite items in the game, though. That and the Fairy Fire. Really like that one, too.
Yeah, they're both pretty situational and things that you're not really going to get as supports, usually, but... unless you've got that one nuke that you need, like the Sand King. But usually you're going to spend your gold doing something else, but... Everything's pretty even so far. I mean, even though Dumpster Squad has 2 kills... And actually, bottom lane here, Tuskar's going to go down. Yeah. He got a little aggressive there. I don't know if he was shopping or what, but... And that top lane now, Sand King's going to die to the Vengeful. Nice magic missile, Wave of Terror combo.
Yeah, I think she just saw him out of position and punished him for it.
Yeah, that's kind of been the theme of this top lane so far. Sand King's got caught out a couple times. Ember is just bullying this Crob off lane with the Flame Guard. She doesn't really have a whole lot to stop that. She can, and now she's getting a little bit of trouble. No, he's just gonna harass her completely out of the lane, force that regen out. Or I guess she could just salve up if she wants, but she needs the mana too, so I'd probably just pop that regen, yeah.
Yep, there it goes.
And Tusk going in on bottom lane here. He might actually get a kill this time, but no, the Flame Spirits do come out, and he's going to be forced to come away. The dive in, and now
the egg comes out.
Haunterbot is in a lot of trouble here. Even if he gets away from this, she could just dive back into the jungle here. She's going to see because that ward. And
oh no!
The Fire Spirits might tick him down. No.
The wand.
16 health into the magic wand, bringing him up, and now he's going to salve up. If she would have ended that dive in there, she definitely could have followed that, but she thought that just the Fire Spirits were going to be enough, and now he's going to come back in. He wants more. Snowball coming in. Does not connect with the shards. Shards do not land either.
Good shards,
Snowball just
but
ran out of duration. It didn't actually miss anything.
kind of a exciting game so far. 6 minutes in, 6 kills. Always what you like to see when you're watching these games.
Yeah, and look at Animage's items. That's how you know this game is hard. He's got a 4-man shield and a ring of health straight. Like, no boots, nothing. He's just going for regen and sustain here. And he's still not going to get much. I mean, he's 8-0. They really need to think about, like, swapping the lanes, like sending him bottom and having him go against the Tusk and bringing the Phoenix up here. I think Phoenix would do pretty decent right now. There's not a whole lot they have to really counter her.
It looks like they want to go in on Dazzle, but they're going to get caught out. Oh, the Sand King again is going to get just obliterated by the Ursa. AM, I do not think you want to fight that big guy. Yeah, he's going to back off.
That was a lack of communication right there. Crystal Maiden was just frostbiting so that the Animage could just safely pull back, and the Sand King walked in there thinking that they were going to try to fight, and they just got jumped on.
Looks like we are going to see a rotation bottom.
That's the Vengeful heading towards bottom, though. Yeah, so we've got a Radiant rotation, but the Dire rotation is what really needs to happen. I mean, look at the disparity in last hits right now. 37-5 for the Ursa and 8-0 for the Anti-Mage. That is not a recipe for success if you are NA.
Egg came out on bottom lane. Looks like he could get the Vengeful if he knows where she's at. Oh, just misses the Spirit on him. Still going for it. Tusk's going to cut him off,
He's going to walk
though.
right into both of them, though. He actually might get this kill. He missed on the... Oh, there goes the punch. It was a little bit delayed on my screen, and now he's sitting there with the Flame Spirits on, ticking down on both of the Sun Rain.
Oh, my gosh. Woo! That was close.
That was a little greedy on the Phoenix's part.
And then Krob fell in the bottom lane when we were watching that one. Fell with the Ember Spirit.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, with the build that he's gone, maxing out that Flame Guard, he's definitely... I mean, she has nothing. She can throw a wave at him, but it's not going to do enough damage. It does 150 per wave, and it's going to shield him for 500. So she needs to wave 4 times, basically, to break the shield. It's just not going to happen. She needs to get more levels into that so that she can kill it sooner. But even if she does, I mean, even if she maxes it out, she's still only going to... She's going to take 2 waves to end the Flame Guard.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I don't think the Life Siphon's quite enough for that. Oh, she's going... She's sure trying, though. Ult activated.
He's gonna... I don't know what he's doing. He could just remnant out at any time here, but he's just gonna walk away and hope that the spirits don't get him, I guess.
Oh.
Oh, I guess his fire remnant was on cooldown. So a little bit greedy there, not taking into account that siphon and the tower. I mean, walked into both.
Yeah, one's pure damage and one's physical, so the Flame Guard's not going to do anything for you there.
Anti-Mage finds a little bit of space to catch up somewhat. He's got 20 CS, but then Tusk comes in and says, get out of here. And here's that level 5 Roshan that I was talking about from Ursa, and he's going to pick that up, and Dumpster Squad is looking really good right now. They're hitting good timings.
This is exactly what they need to do with their draft, though. I mean,
and he's gonna go for this Phoenix, but he's just gonna casually walk away. He doesn't have the mana to really do anything anyway. She can come in here and end this Aegis if she wants to, but probably not worth it right now. And in mid lane, Crowless is in some trouble here as the Ember Spirit's diving once again, and he's gonna get the kill with the help of the Crystal Maiden. Nothing Dazzle can do there. And actually, if he wouldn't have remnanted there, he probably could have picked up the Dazzle kill as well, because Chains had just come off cooldown, but it took him just out of range. Oh, but he's going to run right into him here. No, he doesn't see him. He doesn't see the uphill.
I think he's going to go for this kill on top lane. I think he's going for Tusk.
Yeah, Tusk senses it, though. He's heading for the shop. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's just headed to the shop to buy his mana boots, and he's coming back in here. You're being a little aggressive here, Haunterbot, and you are gonna pay for it. The snowball into, I'm assuming the Ember Spirit. Yeah, he's gonna go up into the tower a little bit, into the chains, and he's gonna fall. Easy kill here.
Ember Spirit picks up another one, boosting his net worth a little bit higher, and continues in the lead of the net worth so far.
Yeah, and Ember's actually tied in here. It comes Ursa on the Phoenix. He's gonna force out the egg, probably. No, gonna do it? You gonna do it? No, he doesn't do it.
He'd
The
rather take his death.
Overpower was not on cooldown, and he'd already used his hits. He probably could have gotten away with that with the tower there, and the Aegis was either ended or had expired. There's no way it expired, so
yeah,
they must have killed it.
Looks like mid tower is going to get under some siege by the Crobulus ult right now. They're going to just harass
And
him.
if she's
right
not
away.
careful, the Ember is going to turn around and just kill her.
Ooh. It's unfortunately 2 ults, and she's not getting a whole lot of tower damage out of it. I don't think she's going to get much this one either.
So the good news is for NA is that they've slowed the pace down. They've gotten a couple return kills. They've managed to make Krob Pauper ult twice without getting any tower damage, really. So it's another 2 minutes before that's going to be up. They're forcing a lot of rotations. The Ursa didn't get much of anything with the Aegis. They still have all their towers, so things are actually looking pretty decent for them now. They've kind of flatlined from where they were about a minute and a half ago. I
think a good chunk of that is keeping this Krob ult down. They keep making her burn it on the Ember, and as good as the ult is, I mean, the long cooldown makes it really annoying when you're trying to gain map control like they are right now. But it looks like we're going to see
Dumpster Squad.
All 4 of them, or 4 of
The
them.
Ursa's on the egg now, and he's going to kill it. Yep. So almost a kill for the Phoenix there, but the Overpower was off.
And we got some action mid. Vengeful's in deep trouble. Going to get picked off by the Ember Spirit. And possibly more. Ember Rumoret's in. Tusk's going to hit him with Snowball and a punch. Oh, and he was way too over-aggressive there. And Sand King, you might be in trouble too, but I think he'll get away. Just... Oh, nope. No, he doesn't.
Tower kills him.
Tower picks him off. That new tower damage coming in hard there.
I don't know if we can we really consider that tower damage new now? I mean, it's been, what, 3 patches?
I thought it was this last patch they boosted it again.
Well, it was at the 686, but we're on 686C now. Like,
oh, that's true.
People should know about the damage by now.
I sometimes forget about the damage.
So the Boots of Traveler done on the Ember Spirit now. He got a little bit over aggressive there in that last fight, which ended poorly for NA.
Vengeful, you're being crazy, going toe-to-toe. Oh, Ursa's there. Ursa has a Blink Dagger. He's up. He wants the Anti-Mage. Is he going to get it? Anti-Mage Blink almost up. And he should be out. Oh, he wants to fight, maybe?
Ursa can Blink follow him. Yep, he did. But he's not going to catch him. The Dazzle still poison out. Oh, he ran out of range.
Oh, picks him off. The Sand King was a little late there. No, Tusk's here.
Tuskar on the Ember Spirit, and he's got the stun from the poison, and now he's going to Magic Stick and walk away. Contrabot in some trouble from this tower damage. He's getting body blocked up by the Vengeful, and will get away.
Here comes the Sand King. Sand King, I don't know, what are you doing here, dude? Oh, wow, Ember picks off the Krob. Krob was way out of position there, but Sand King's going to Sandstorm up.
And Ember's going to get this kill on the Ursa as well. He just needs a slight... Oh, just barely.
Uh-oh.
Not enough.
This might be an egg in here.
Yeah, just going to throw out the Sunray, and Anti-Mage is going to come clean it up.
Ooh.
Oh, not a great ult there from the Anti-Mage, thinking that maybe she has a little more mana, but she's only got 300 mana at this point. She's not going to take a whole lot of damage from that. But again, what we see is a case of a team getting overly aggressive. I mean, they were diving behind a tier 2, and the tier 1 is still up. And trying to find these kills, and it's a 2,000 gold swing and a 1,500 experience swing because they got way deep.
Yeah, and the nice thing when all those towers are up, I mean, it's only 14 minutes in. Heroes are going to be respawning so fast. I mean, like we saw there, I don't remember who it was, but they died and they'd come back and then rejoin the fight because just the respawn timers are so short. I think Krob's baited that out well, but he just simply remnants away, gets out of there.
So an Aether Lens on the Phoenix, which is really interesting. Gonna be able to throw those Fire Spirits from forever away now. And the Sunray as well. Kind of an odd choice, but it'd be interesting to see how this works out. And the Ember Spirit teleports in here, hoping to get a kill, but Ursa just turns on him and forces him to fire Remnant, to Remnant back.
Oh my gosh. Phoenix.
And the Tuskar now is going on the Phoenix, and she's gonna egg up. The Ursa can't get in there. He's gonna die. No, just barely dies.
Is the Phoenix
Doesn't
gonna
die.
go
40
in?
health.
Phoenix is going in. Oh,
Yeah.
misses though.
And he's graved up and misses the Phoenix Fire Spirits, and just immediately teleports away, leaving the Crystal Maiden kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So Captain Field is gonna have to walk away.
Top tower has fallen.
In the meantime, Garlic got the top tower there, and his farm's picking up. He has the Battle Fury, and it's on his way now. Or no, he's just got a Claymore. I thought he had both, but so he's about 800 gold away from Battle Fury. Considering how hard that lane was, it's not a terrible timing, but definitely not what you want.
And we have the Crab ult activated at bottom lane, and it looks like they're going to take this one with probably not too much defense. And if Phoenix isn't too careful, Ursa will turn on, but she's getting.
She's got the Fire Spirits on him, so he doesn't have Blink or anything. As long as they keep that Blink off cooldown, she's fine.
They're going to go for tier
Yes.
2.
Yeah, they get some damage on it, but they're not going to kill the tower. Ember's going to throw out some slights and force him back without the wave, and the Exorcism are going to come to a conclusion. They might still want to fight this because they know the enemy mage is top, but I don't know if they really want to go in. And the Vengeful actually swaps in Ember, but he just remnants back. Not the person that you want to swap.
Oh, here comes that AoE we were talking about.
Eat the mango and stun, my friend. Eat the mango and stun. No, he's not going to. He doesn't want to. That's my mango, and I'll eat it when I want to. Showing off the Blink Dagger with a big wipe there.
That was a ton of AoE, and like you just saw their healths just expire. That was a great play from NA there, proving that they're definitely still in this game.
And those AoE ults coming, we're coming into that timing window when there's going to be big, and it was kind of a huge mistake by the Vengeful to swap out the Ember. If you're going to swap somebody that doesn't have an immediate escape. Swap out that SK or the Crystal Maiden and blow them up instantly. And then you have accomplished two things. You've gotten rid of an AoE ult that is going to be really harmful to you, and you've also killed someone and made the odds even better in your favor. It would have been a 5-on-3 then, but instead he just kind of remnanted away and nothing hurt by it.
That's the tough part. Sometimes you get a little bit antsy because you see a target you really want and then forget they have something simple like a remnant just get out.
And speaking of Battle Furies, Animage is closing in on his, but so is the Ember Spirit. He is about 1,400 gold away from his own. So considering he went Boots of Travel first, he is doing very well right now.
And he is head of the net worth charts in about 7,800. He's going in deep. He wants to.
Yeah, he's going to kill at least one of them here. The grave comes out on the self grave on the Dazzle, and he's just gonna walk past the Vengeful, let his support clean that up. Oh no, he's gonna clean it up with the Sleight of Fist, and then the Flame Guard actually picks up the kill on the Dazzle. Ult coming out here from the Cravulus, and now the Egg follows it up. So she's gonna stand in the middle of this. The ult's gonna hit the Ember Spirit, but she is taking so much damage. She's gonna take the stun, and Ember's gonna just clean her up as well. No, the Phoenix does with the Fire Spirits, with the help of the Crystal Nova from Crystal Maiden. So all of a sudden, NA taking control of this game with some really big team fights. And look at the graph right now.
Oof.
Holy cow. 5,000 XP swing in like the last two fights, and then you've got about 4,000 gold. So things went from pretty good for Dumpster Squad to okay for Dumpster Squad to maybe we're in a little bit of trouble here.
It almost just seems like a lot of it's communication. I mean, right there, they were going in, the supports got caught out. Krob's like, hey guys, I can respond. He beams in, or walks in and says, hey, I'm here. And then the other guys are like, yeah, I'm not going there.
And now Tusk is going to die as well. He's way too deep.
Oh, Tusk. You didn't want to be there, my friend. They have no wards up there, no vision. No one was in sight. That was not a good play to be that deep.
I think he was with his team, but with the blink from the Ursa, he just got away so fast that, again, I think it's the communication issues. I mean, we'll never know since we're not in the chats there with them, but it just kind of seems like that from the outside looking in, that maybe
totally
they're not
agree.
all quite on the same page.
It's also a little bit stressful too when you're playing in these leagues and then you're doing really well and you get really excited, then you have a couple bad team fights. It kind of hurts you mentally too, and sometimes it strains the communication, especially when you aren't used to it.
So the Anti-Mage Battle Fury is up. Ember is about 1,500 gold away from his. Phoenix is going Talisman Evasion, so going Solar Crest, I would assume. Blink Mana Boots up on the Sand King. Ursa is heading for this pit again, but I think Sand King knows it. He's sitting up here with the Blink. There's an Invisible Vengeful here. She can cancel his Blink Dagger, but oh, he's gonna ult. He's gonna ult. He jumps in. He stuns, and Ursa's gonna die. I don't know if he must have just been standing just out of sight of the Vengeful Spirit there. She was standing there with the opportunity to cancel that Blink. You would have thought as soon as she saw the channeling, she would have, but...
Oh, this fight is going
counterstun
crazy.
here.
Eggs out. The Crystal Maiden's
And,
out. Oh my gosh, the damage.
Slights and the AoE. The buyback from Ursa comes, but there's nothing that he can do. Anti-Mage is split pushing this top tower, so they're going to lose not only 4 heroes, but they could definitely lose Roshan here if the Dire decide that they want to kill it, but...
The only advantage they have there for a dumpster truck is NA has a pretty terrible Roche lineup without anti-mage. He's off kind of doing the split push thing, so they're okay.
Oh no, silly me. They're going Halberd on the Phoenix, not Solar Crest. That makes more sense.
Yeah, with that, they can keep that Ursa completely under control. Well, the Phoenix
Valkyrie's done on the Ember now.
The Phoenix is doing a lot of work. I do think the biggest reason was because of the laning decision. I think the laning decision was quite smart to keep that in there, even though going against the aggressive tri-lane, let that Phoenix just do his thing on bottom.
Yeah, I thought the Dumpster Squad was gonna capitalize off that a little bit more than they did, and I think that some of that was their tendency to dive a little bit. You know, we thought that the Anti-Mage was gonna be in trouble, but he's recovered really nicely.
The thing I hate about Anti-Mage is you can never kill him and keep him out of farming enough. He always finds a way, especially when he gets his levels online and feels more comfortable bouncing around the map.
So Ursa walking around with 2,800 gold. Kind of interested to see what he's going to do. And in the meantime, Ember just annihilates the Tusk.
And Krob does have the ult online, so they're probably. Oh man, I think they know
They
Ursa's
saw
up
that
here.
Ember. Yep. Yeah, they saw him by the ward because of the rune there, and Remnant up and Sleight of Fist.
Oof.
Remnant up and Sleight of Fist.
Oh, they get the
Yep,
chain.
there it
Here comes the
Sleight
burn
of
from
Fist
the
and
Phoenix.
chain, and yep. Didn't need the Remnant. I thought he needed to get a little bit closer, but he was perfectly fine just walking it.
And that was a double damage to Ursa too, so potentially could have been a good opportunity for Dumpster Trunk to get a pick off, and instead they lose him because he went for it.
No, I think he was going for the shop. He picked up that rune. I don't know. I thought he was going for the shop, but then he kind of like walked through it. I'm not sure what he was doing. He was trying to get away if he didn't know that they have wards, but they have a ward behind the Ancients on this tower and up over the rune as well. So they have really, really good sight around that area.
And Dumpster Truck only has light warding and kind of a one side of the map, and then here on this side, so they don't have really the greatest vision to know if they're in their jungle or anything like that.
Sand King's got half of his Ags done, and actually now he's got 3/4 of it done. So pretty soon that stun is going to be huge. So Ursa, man, saved that gold for so long. I wonder why he waited so long, just because he wasn't at base? He had 3,000 gold. He could have bought that so long ago. The Remnant back here, and then a Remnant across. No, forward.
Ursa's in deep trouble again. He's so
The
deep
Yule's
right
onto
now.
the Ember Spirit in the background, and in the meantime, the egg's gonna come out, and it's gonna die. It's not gonna die.
No,
Oh my goodness,
wow,
Ursa
comes around.
just at the last second. That Frostbite came out right before he was able to kill, and they tap out there. It's a good game, well played, before even a T3 had taken any damage. 29-15 as NA comes back from an early deficit to take game 1.
I think the big thing they probably tapped out is kind of the whole point of their lineup was to snowball, and they're not. So it's just going to be continually going in the wrong direction. Just wipe it off, learn from your mistakes, and move to game 2.
Yeah, so Beaver Dog carrying his team there. I mean, he did such a good job. I don't think we can understate how much he saved that game. Anti-Mage did nothing for the first, 20 minutes. He was off by himself basically the whole game, while the supports in the Ember Spirit ruined everything else for Dumpster Squad.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. MVP goes to Beaver Dog for game 1, and that wraps up game 1 for this 2-game series in the AD2L Season 10. We'll be right back in just a few minutes for game number 2. Stay with us.
Radiant team banned.
Unmuted and undeafened.
Welcome back to game number 2 of the AD2L Season 10 Week 1 opener. Dumpster Squad versus not another Dota clan. I am Sequoia, joined by my good friend Legion 170. Legion, how are you, man?
I'm doing excellent, and hopefully we'll get another exciting game here between Dumpster Squad and another Dota clan, because even though it kind of ended anticlimactically, it was really entertaining for the first bit there, especially through the draft. It was cool to see a little bit of a different draft have so much success in what has been a very Crobulus fueled meta.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and I thought that both teams executed well. I just think that when it came to it, Dumpster Squad was just having a bit of communication problems, and they threw some fights they didn't quite want to, and then that kind of rolled against them in the long run. And we'll see how they come back against game number 2 here. And so far, Silencer and Undying. Silence is kind of an interesting first ban. Maybe they see something in the Dota buff, I don't know. And Slarter's actually a pretty interesting first ban too. Not another Dota clan first picked Phoenix last time, so we'll be kind of interested to see what they go with this time. If they have any other favorite picks or anything like that, they go for that number 1 pick.
I'd be a little bit surprised to see it here just because they only have the 1 pick by itself to start with. Last time they were able to pair it off with another hero that they liked right off the bat, so it might be one of those things where you do it when you know you can get a certain 1-2 and then you go something else. Or it might be one of those things where you kind of dare Dumpster Squad to take it. And the Sand King they picked up, that was the hero that they paired it with last game. So obviously they're placing a higher priority on the Sand King.
I don't disagree. Sand King's a pretty dang good hero right now, and he provides a lot to the team in general, and you can kind of be versatile about his role as well.
Yeah, he's a pretty good hero. I think you can get him probably later, and I don't know that he had the effect really in the early game that they wanted him to. I mean, he got caught out of position a few times and was a little bit of the reason that they started the game a little bit behind. But he ended the game fairly well. I would like to see probably him skip the Blink Dagger and go Ags this game. I think that if he would have done that last game, he would have been able to get some of those really big stuns off earlier. As it was, he didn't really have that Ags till, I mean, I don't even think he had it at the end, but he almost had enough gold for it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And another thing I think that you can say about last game is I don't think they saw the aggressive tri-lane coming until it was there. Wow, they go with the first same 2 picks, Phoenix and Sand King. I think they were kind of assuming he was going to be in the jungle and just kind of bounce in when it was needed, but then when they saw that aggressive tri-lane, they kind of put him in an awkward position that he wasn't quite ready for.
Radiant team banned.
Yeah, I mean, even if that's the case, though, he got caught out in some weird positions that he just shouldn't have really been in. But, you know, maybe that was just, hey, we should be aggressive here, and then the other 2 going, we can't really be aggressive, and then he's going to just kind of yellows it. I don't really know, but he just kind of seemed in some weird spots where another support may have been a little bit better, but definitely when he got that blink and some of the timings came up, he was definitely more effective then.
And they definitely banned Beaver Dogs, Ember Spirit, and I don't blame him at all for that. He just crushed it with that hero last game, and I wouldn't want to have him give it away at all either.
A little bit more interesting to me is the Witch Doctor pickup. You haven't seen a lot of the Witch Doctor lately, and I don't even think it's that he's a bad hero. I think that he's just kind of been forgotten by the current meta. Um, the Death Ward could be pretty decent, but again, it's not going to hit the egg. It's not going to hit the Sand King if he throws up his Sandstorm, so it'll be kind of interesting to see what they do with it. It's another hero that they probably could have picked up later in the draft. You know, that 4th or 5th pick. I question why they bring it in the first pick, but maybe they just played a ton and so they thought that it would be banned out early, but it just seems kind of like a weird first phase pick. And the Warlock coming out, there is a hero you do not see every day. I love the Warlock, but I know that he is not favored really by many teams.
And why do you think that is? Do you think the biggest reason that he's not favored is because of the long cooldowns on his ult, and that's probably the biggest thing he brings to the table?
Yeah, the long cooldowns, he just doesn't, he's not really a defensive support. And he needs some farm to really be super effective. So he doesn't really provide defense. He doesn't really provide sustain because Shadow Word really isn't, it's not that great of an ability. You're probably going to want to prioritize the Fatal Bonds and the slow over that. And so he just kind of doesn't really fit in the current meta. But if you're going to play him like as a core hero, it could be interesting to me if they maybe mid him and send the Shadow Fiend to the safe lane. I don't think we'll see that, but it would be kind of a cool thing for me to see.
Ben, you're getting all sorts of heroes that are your favorite heroes in the game.
Yeah, Disruptor is my favorite support in the game right now. He does everything so well. I mean, he's so good at getting pickoffs and being aggressive, zoning people out. Perfect hero for not another Dota clan here. If they want to kind of continue the momentum that they had in the last game and fight around big ults, Disruptor is your guy.
And I will say it definitely fits into their love of AoE. I mean, he's just all AoE all the time, and then just that's exactly what the other draft they kind of sent around too. Is just they love AoE and they love kind of bringing those giant team fights together.
Yeah, and even more important than the AoE is that glimpse. The glimpse is amazing. It's the range on it is so ridiculous, and so if somebody eventually does get out of a fight, he can just bring them right back into it. Baseless Void is another hero that you're starting to see a little bit of. Mostly in pubs. I think I might have seen 1 or 2 Faceless Voids in the qualifier. He's an interesting hero. You have to play him so much differently than you did before.
And Sierra's a hero that I'm a big fan of, the OD, and it also fits into exactly how Beaver Dog likes to play too. I think he'll probably be able to play this hero exceptionally well if they do send it to him in the mid lane. He's probably one of my favorite mid laners right now.
Yeah, I haven't figured out the balance for how you want to level his skills yet, but I do think the Hour Devourer is a quality hero. It's just what do you level early in order to get that advantage? I think you need to level the orb, but it costs so much mana, so it's going to probably be like a 4-1-4 type of deal, and then hope to get 4 staff. Maybe there's an outside chance, maybe something like a Dragon Lance, just to get that extra oomph for the Arcane Orb, but most likely you'll see a more standard like 4 staff into Rod of Aoi or something like that.
Yeah, I just think he's not only an excellent lane dominator that can take out, usual heroes that are pretty good in the mid lane, but his new Imprison is just such a neat and unique ability, the way it does damage and then buzz damage when it comes out. It really does do well against heroes that you're trying to pick off and put out of position or just put supports away for a little while and deal with them later. And his ult just seems to be destructive after he gets a couple of orbs out. One thing I will say about him too is you kind of have to be careful when you imprison people is, for an inexperienced mid laner, sometimes you can bring your laning out of balance pretty easy because it does do damage around, so sometimes you'll create a lot more push than you normally do, and sometimes it'll throw your mid lane off because of it. And then last 2 picks, Broodmother and Gyrocopter.
Yeah, it's a great last pick, Gyrocopter there. Good. I mean, they have a lot of ways to deal with the Broodlings. They've got the Sand King Burrow Strike, if I could talk, and the Caustic Finale, so he can just get like 1 level in the Caustic Finale, and then Burrow Strike things and kill all kinds of stuff in the AoE. They have a lot of AoE ults, so a really good pick there. I'm not completely sold on Dumpster Squad's draft this time around, but that said, we should probably introduce the teams this time since we didn't do that last time. So we got Armistand on the Void. Aeriths on the Shadow Fiend. Man, maybe we should have just not done this. Merluni on the Warlock. Merluni, I like that. We've got ACN 1013 on the Witch Doctor. What's a mouthful? And Haunterbot on the Broodmother.
Over here on the Radiant side, we have DC Mama Bird on the Sand King. We got DC Captain Feels on the Disruptor. We have Garlic on the Gyrocopter, and I'm just watching. Hopefully we won't get too much action. Beaver Dog does take the OD mid, and then Phoenix the Simper Pie up in the off lane. I'm going to jump the camera back here because we think we might have some action over here.
Yeah, Haunterbot wants to place some wards into this forest, but Captain Fields is not having any of it, while the rest of Haunterbot's team is at that bottom rune denying it from the Radiant, but it doesn't matter because Beaver Dog went top, and he's going to have an easy bounty rune there. So both mids pick up a bounty, and people just kind of slink their own ways.
So it looks like we're going to have a fairly standard lane, defensive tri-lanes on both sides with solo mids, which is pretty much kind of what I would have expected out of the draft.
Yeah, I have to say I'm a little disappointed that we don't get to see the Warlock in a core role. I do think that he can excel in that area, especially with the farm that he gets, but not completely surprised.
I'm a little surprised that they sent Void as their carry. I kind of thought he was going to be more of an offlaner, and then they'd have picked up a different core, or had the Warlock go mid and then the Shadow Fiend, but definitely more of a conventional draft from Dumpster Squad.
And they're going to go in on the Phoenix here, the jump in, but he's just going to fly away with that Icarus dive. Interesting that that the Void tried to time walk there. With the new time walk does not do damage, so it is still kind of an initiation skill, but usually it's just kind of used to refresh that damage and walk back in time a little bit. So I wonder if his supports just kind of went in and then he was like, oh shit, and jumped after them.
Yeah, the new time walk it's different. I don't know if I can classify it as a better upgrade or worse. It's definitely just different, and I think sometimes you kind of forget about it just because you're just so used to the other one. It's been there since Dota 1, so sometimes you just kind of forget about it and you realize that it's more of a defensive ability versus an initiation ability now.
Well, I'm sure he knew it. I would be highly surprised if they hadn't practiced something with the Void. So I'm sure he knew about it. It was just one of those things where his supports were a little bit farther up than he was, and so he needed to get into position with it.
So not much. Pretty much just standard farming right now. Broodmother's doing her Broodmother thing. So far, they haven't tried to dump a sentry or anything like that on him yet. So nothing terribly surprising in that lane. OD's doing very well in the mid lane, and it looks like we got a Warlock kind of trailing him a little bit. I think they're going to go for an attempt to get him off. Prison just goes out and he just casually walks away.
Level 1 Shadow Word. That is why I hate that ability. It is so useless. 15 damage. I mean, yeah, you do 15 damage for 12 seconds, but it is not enough damage to do anything. I think the slow probably would have been more helpful. Just to keep him in range of the raises, but it is what it is. I guess different players have different opinions. I just think Shadow Word is just a kind of a garbage ability.
I totally agree. I think the slow is just...
And then bottom, the first blood's going to come out. The Rocket Barrage onto the Broodmother. So a great play there from Captain Fields and from the Gyrocopter, forcing out that first blood.
Yeah, and good sentry ward placement. I bet he probably went back, picked it up. Broodmother didn't know it was there, and
that's a dire ward.
Oh, it's a dire ward. Oh wow.
So I think he was going in for a kill or something. I'm not entirely sure because I flipped over right as he died, but
that's pretty interesting. That I'm a little surprised.
I think that there was a ward there, but he killed it with the spiders right after he died.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
That would be my guess. Like I said, I don't really know.
So Shadow Fiend is picking up in CS now that he's getting more of his nukes online, and Beaver Dog's holding his own, but just slightly behind where he was last game for sure. And then Void and Broodmother are actually doing. Broodmother's actually doing really well, out CSing the Gyrocopter even with the death.
Well, the big thing for Shadow Fiend is his base damage is so low without without the souls and necromancy. So once he gets those, he starts to snowball a lot. It is very tough in the first minute or two to get CS on him. And Merluni's kind of hiding back here. He wants to go in on this. He's got chains up this time, so they can Fatal Bonds. And he doesn't get it. He gets the creeps with the Fatal Bonds. And the Fire Spirits are his prize, but now here comes a cask, and it bounces around. The wave did miss, but the last word is on him. He's going to force Phoenix back to, at least to heal up with the Tranquils.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He did pull off the kill on the Warlock there, too. It was a really good play from Phoenix, just keeping it cool and doing what he does.
Yeah, those Fire Spirits with the help of the tower. It was really unfortunate that Merluni ended up hitting all creeps with that. He was trying to... I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to hit the creep and then have it bounce to the Phoenix, but I think that the Phoenix was just not quite in range. That if he wanted to do that, he would have had to hit the ranged creep, which he wanted to avoid because it doesn't have as much health, and so not as much damage would be transferred. But you just gotta kind of know the limits of that skill and how it's gonna bounce.
So NA definitely off to a good start. This isn't this dumpster here. Draft
Shadow Fiend's
is a little...
hasted up, and he's gonna head bottom here. They want to go in on this.
Ooh, they
saw it. They saw him though. There's a ward right on that ramp, so they watched him walk up, and then just kind of walked away. They might be able to push this tower down though if they want to. There's a lot of spiderlings there. Meanwhile, Sand King's getting pretty decent farm, 18-0.
Looks like Shadow Fiend just gonna walk back mid.
And he's gonna grab this bottom rune here. It's almost 6 minutes, so he got some farm, rotates towards the rune, hopes for something good.
Gets probably what he didn't want, but he's okay with it. Filled up his bottle and.
Yeah, I don't know that he really needed the double damage. I think the bounty might have actually been a little bit better for him, just because he can work on getting his
Phoenix
boots and
is
be a
in
little
trouble
faster.
this time, though.
A nice little bash there from the Void. So Cask bouncing around and then the Void bash, and he ends up dead. But like I was saying, I think that the double damage probably isn't going to do a whole lot for him right now. He's not going to get into a man fight with somebody. So the bounty may have been a little bit better.
And OD did hit him pretty good.
The Spider's going in on Gyrocopter here. I don't think he's going to get anything, but he's doing a good job of harassing Gyro off the lane. Keep Spiderlings up. They still don't have any wards down here.
He's doing great on CS too. 22-1 for an offlane. I mean, man, on the retrospect, you know, Phoenix is 6-2.
I'm pretty surprised that the Disruptor went boots over some kind of sight for Haunter bot. I mean, I think if they would have picked up Dust or something, that would have been huge. But
and Phoenix
I guess
already
they're
used
just
his
gonna try to
egg, and
farm
now he
around
is in deep trouble. The cast comes out, Maledict comes out. He's going to go in. He just
he's fine.
has that. Yep.
And it doesn't even look like it was a Maledict. It was the new time dilation. So trying to keep those spells off cooldown. In the mid, Beaver Dog almost dies, but he's going to walk away while Arthurix takes some good damage onto this tower. And in the bottom lane, they got the sniper. Oh, they had him laned up or penned up there, but he just throws out some spawn spiderlings and turns that disruptor into spider food.
And now we're back up to 2-2. We're gonna move over to the net worth chart and just see how everything's kind of lined up. Dire for number 1 and 2 on the chart, followed pretty closely by the 2 cores on Radiant. So it is definitely a dang close game. Let me just check the graphs real quick. Yeah, it's only a 750 difference between the games. So for 8 minutes in, it's pretty dang close.
And the Shadow Fiend is going to pick up a rune that he really likes here. This Arcane Orb is going to be really good for farming up camps. I don't think they have any stacks though right now. Merluni's been running around, but he has not been stacking camps
So
at
we
all.
got
Bottom lane,
one-
Gyrocopter's getting gone in on here as the spider comes in. Rocket Barrage not going to do much with the spiderlings there, but the tower might kill him.
Oh,
One hit, yeah, it does. So he gets the return kill there.
Tower is under attack.
Well, not exactly what the Gyrocopter wanted, but at least he gets the return kill out of it. Doesn't get the experience for it since he did die first, but
Radiant's
That was a less valuable kill too, only 189 gold.
Shadow Fiend is just pushing in. He's moving deep down here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He really wants Beaver Dog. He thinks he can take him too. Oh,
Oh,
I
and he
think
missed a raise. That might cost him a death here. He's gonna wait around there, but the prison. Here comes a stun, and you're dead.
Yeah, I feel that was a little over aggressive. He dove deep there. I mean, simple rotations from the supports, and he wasn't gonna. I don't think he would have ever gotten that kill.
If he would have hit the first raise, he might have had a chance at it, but still probably a little bit over aggressive. And Gyro's really struggling down here. He has no support, so I bet he is a little frustrated at this point in time because there's not much he can do against the spider. Maldix comes out on the Phoenix, but she's gonna come in. She wants more, and the ult comes out from the Disruptor. Did not realize that Captain Fields was 6. He missed the Void with it though, so Void able to just kind of time walk out, and they still want
Beaver
more though.
Dog's
NA
here.
is up here. They got 4 for a fight, and here comes the Blink stun. An early Blink coming out from that Sand King. Oh, a 3-man Chronosphere. He's just gonna have to walk away. The tower might be able to pick up something here. No, not quite.
This is a nice Chronosphere, just
The
unfortunate.
Sand King coming around again. He wants to stun again. He's got a Blink. He could go for something, but Void's healed up too much.
And the creep waves spot him out too and chase him down, so they're gonna know it's there. It looks like all the supports are gonna beam out. This poor Gyrocopter down here really needs some help though. He's just getting nothing. He's just moving down, further down on the net worth chart.
Yeah, but I think with the rotations that his team's making, that maybe they're creating space for him or trying to create space for him. I don't. Either way, somebody's gonna get some farm here, and Gyro's gonna walk right into the Shadow Fiend and then walk right away. Turn on a Rocket Barrage. Nope, not gonna turn on. He's just gonna run. He doesn't want any part of Shadow Fiend. He just assumed the spider was close, and he is now, but wasn't earlier.
So we're sitting 5 and 3. Kills do favor NA at this time. Almost 11 minutes in so far, and it's a dang pretty close game so far. Still, we're sitting 1,500 gold and only about 700 experience, so dang close game. It looks like we got some action bottom lane right now. Oh, poor Gyrocopter. Him and Disruptors weren't enough, but they are going to get the... Oh, yep, they get 1 return... Oh, they get 2 return kills. Get the Shadow Fiend and the Spider with that one. Unfortunately, Gyrocopter does fall, so Disruptor picks up most of the golden experience.
Yeah, Gyrocopter actually lost gold in that exchange, but Disruptor picks up 874, so a really good exchange for him, and he gets 1,500 experience for that, so... he
Egg
basically
comes
gets
out
a level.
in the top lane, kind of tries to go in the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor just walks away and heals up. I think Semper Pi wants to go deep, though. Yep, he gets some good spirits on him, but he's got the heal up, so he's going to be alright. It's a nice try by him, but just not too much heal from the Witch Doctor coming up. Looks like he's going to get Shadow Worded, too.
Beaver Dog's heading up, and he's got Arcane, so that's a good rune for that OD to have as well. 60 mana is all for the orb, and he's going to come in and throw a shot there on the Void. The Void's going to Chronosphere in return. Now here comes the Phoenix, going to throw out Fire Spirit. No, they're on cooldown still. The Prison does come out to avoid the Witch Doctor. Oh, but it's not going to matter. He's going to come up and just die it. And Semper Fi, nothing he can do. He might follow him, yeah, with the nice bash into the stun. An ult coming out from the Sand King. No, he does get the Witch Doctor.
Does get one, but he's going to
fall for it.
Ooh.
So 3 for 1. Very good rotations from Dumpster Squad there. Good Chronosphere, good Witch Doctor ult. A little bit questionable decisions there.
Yeah.
Gyrocopter's going to drop the ult to force the spider off the tower on bottom in the meantime. Not quite deniable. He needed it to get hit like one more time. 131 HP. And they're going to lose their top tower as well.
And DS pick up some really valuable map space now with 2 towers down, and I think they're going to probably start moving bottom to help that spider get that last tier 1.
And it looks like Void Mask of Madness here, so playing that old school style Void. Interesting to see that. Usually you see the Void kind of tank up now a little bit, grab like a Vanguard, SNY, something like that, so that because he doesn't have the reliable backtrack anymore. Instead, he's going to have to use that backtrack ability to initiate, so...
Disruptor picks off Shadow Fiend in the mid lane here with his ult and gate and glimpse, and looks like they're going to get 1 kill for no loss.
Yeah, maybe a little bit overkill dropping the ult there. I don't know that they really needed it. but I guess if you're not going to use it in a minute and a half, you might as well use it there.
The only thing I will say about dropping the ult there is, even though it may be a little bit overkill, it's going to be, beyond getting the void in there, you know, most of your big supports and stuff are probably going to be watching out and trying to avoid getting hit with that ult, so not awful. Still probably a little bit much more than you wanted, though. This spider's just doing work on this bottom lane. This pretty much entire infested with webs, and poor Gyrocopter is still only sitting at 4,200 at 14 minutes, almost 15 minutes in the game so far.
There's just nothing he can do about it by himself, and even with the Disruptor, if it's just the two of them, the Disruptor will probably just die. The Spiderlings negate a lot of the Rocket Barrage, and he doesn't have enough damage or enough points into the Flat Cannon to really deal with them effectively. So Warlock's sitting up here. He does have an ult now, and he's waiting for the Spider to walk in there. But Beaver Dog's coming in from behind as well. He does have a Force Staff up here, and he's going to run right into Merluni. He's going to throw up the Prison. They're going to scout this out. It's going to be an easy kill right here. The Disruptor Gate again. An interesting drop there on both the gate and the ult. I don't really know that they needed it, and now they do. They don't have a glimpse either. He could throw up the gate for vision, but the missile, is this really going to get a kill? Okay. Ooh. Gives sight for the OD to pick up the kill there. So it works out. Yeah, it was a good trade there for NA.
And NA really needed that.
Semper Pi going for that Aether Lens again. So must like that build. Looks like a Aghanim Scepter coming up from the Void, so he is going to tank up, just not quite in the way that I expected him to. And it'll make it so that that ult comes up even more often.
So that must be the strategy they're going to probably go with, is try to wait for that ult before taking objectives, and they'll have much easier time doing that. And they can have the Warlock ult kind of back that up.
And Semper Pi sensing a disturbance in the Dota. There was an Invis Shadow Fiend there, and flies up into the forest and TPs away. Merluni wants to throw up some wards here into the jungle, but they have wards there already. Gate's going to come out, and Captain Field's going to throw out a little Thunderbolt. He's going to throw a ward down.
Oh, the ult comes out from Warlock. They want to fight this. They want the Spider down.
They saw the Spider. They did not know the Spider was there, but oh, nice. The Sand King gets the return there. They were not expecting that fight, but I bet they're glad that it happened now as they pick up 2 kills and kill the Warlock ulti. But now top, the Dire going in on Phoenix. Phoenix does drop the egg right before the ult, but it doesn't matter. He's going to die anyway, but the Disruptor is going to pick up the kill on the Void. So really good play there from Captain Fields to end that killing spree of the Void. Must be a level 1 egg still. Yeah, it is. Shadow Fiend ult does come down, and here comes the Ward. Oh, the Death Ward. He 4 steps.
Oh no!
The creep's gonna kill him. No,
oh, so close. Oh, the Shadow Fiend. Oh my gosh!
The Death Requiem picks up the kill. So a 3 for 3 and pretty even exchange, favoring the Radiant by about 900, but.
That was a pretty crazy fight. I wasn't expecting that. I kind of thought that creep was going to get that kill on OD there for a second.
Yeah, it almost looked like the Witch Doctor ward ended early. I don't know if he like tried to throw a stun in there, or if he like misclicked, or if it just ended from duration or what, but it just kind of like seemed like a weird place for it to end. I thought he was going to pick up the kill because there was no prison from the OD. So I wonder if like the Witch Doctor thought there was going to be a prison, so he's going to cask and then there wasn't one, or I don't know. Maybe it just ended. Merluni really wants wards up in here, and he throws one up on the ramp there. Again, they should have seen him walk up there with that ward in the jungle, but no pings coming out.
And all tier 1's still online for Dumpster Squadron at this point in the game. So they definitely have a lot of map control still. Only tier 2s remain for NA. All their tier 1s have already been destroyed, and Spider just continually is gradually moving on this bottom lane. Hopefully probably going to start chipping away at this tier 2 here soon. He's got Witch Doctor to back him up right now.
So point boosters on both the Disruptor and the Sand King, so both looking to go for an Ags here, and should have them at pretty decent paces if the pace of the game continues.
Oh, Bombird wanted Spider, but he wasn't quite in range. The channel just wasn't quite fast enough, and the Spider sensed something was going on and backed up and missed the blink stun. Pings do come out. I couldn't tell who it was.
It's the Broodmother pinging. I don't know if he thinks there's like a ward around there or something, but he was pinging up in the trees there. And now Witch Doctor pings in the forest to let his team know where he thinks they are.
There goes the lens on Phoenix. It's now complete.
And Rod of Aoi almost done on the OD. He has his 2 staffs of wizardry. Just needs that Vit booster.
So we're gonna just check in on the charts here. Wow, it is now only a 500 gold difference between and a 5,000 net experience difference on NA's side. Pretty crazy swing so far in this game. Still very close games. Oh, Force Staff on the Shadow Fiend. He's in bad positioning now, and here comes the gate. And here comes the stun. He is in a bad shape. Warlock is going to drop the ult for this. Shadow Fiend's getting zoned out by the Disruptor ult, though.
Great Disruptor ult, and then the glimpse back into it from Merluni.
And that Warlock ult is just going to get annihilated.
He's fine.
Oh, sorry, I meant the Warlock ultimate was going to get annihilated.
Oh.
It just got chewed up by OD. Does the OD orb still affect that more? Do you know?
No,
Okay.
it hasn't for a while.
I didn't
At least
think
it shouldn't
so.
do bonus damage.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but...
Oh no, yep it does. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Yeah, Arcane Orb also does bonus damage to summon units and illusions.
Wow.
What am I thinking?
I couldn't remember if they changed that in this patch.
I was thinking of, I guess I was thinking of the Purge? That must be what I was thinking of.
Void one's going up there on Simper Pie. I think he's got his ult. Yeah, he decides not to.
Yeah.
A little paranoid.
Gyro
about
tanking up
rotation.
here. Gyro's got S and Y now, so getting a little bit tankier. Getting into a better position to take some of these fights and stand up to the Spider. And does have Fly Cannon as well, so he'll be able to chew through these Spiderlings if he chooses to come into range of sight. SK channeling the
Oh no!
Oh, the glimpse, he was expecting the glimpse back, it just took a little bit long. So he doesn't land the ult, but they still get the kill there.
Oh, that was
I don't think that
some...
did any damage. No, it doesn't look like it did like any damage at all.
Unfortunately.
And the Phoenix dies in the top in the meantime, so... Not quite the trade that you wanted if you're Dumpster Squad, because you lost the Warlock in exchange, but you do pick up something. And OD just chases the Shadow Fiend to his death. He's got that Rod of Aoi up now, so he's with the Force Staff and the Rod of Atos. You're not going to be able to get away from him. He runs in on you. You're just going to face him or die.
And a couple hits with that orb, and then followed up with that ult just does so much damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It'll be interesting to see what Beaverdog decides to go with next. If he's just going to go straight into something like a Shiva's or a Hex, or if he's going to try to pick up a little bit extra range with the Dragon Lance, or maybe an Aghanim Scepter. I mean, that's still a really good upgrade for that ultimate. So interesting to see what he decides to do next.
Yeah, I think with the OD, there's just so many options that aren't necessarily bad. It's just depending on how you want to handle it. You know, you can go with the Shivas that gives you a little bit more catch. It increases your slow, hit him with the Rod of Aoi, and then follow it up with the Shivas, gives you more armor. And
They spot out the Void here. They're going to go in on him. The Rod of Aoi goes, he leaps away, but the leap up from the Phoenix, and now the Fire
the
Spirit.
cask
Here comes a double stun. Amazing stun there from Mamaber, picking up both of them. They pick up the kill onto the Void. Here comes a gate and a disrupt. Yep, glimpse back from the Disruptor, and goodbye. This is going to be a tier 2 tower as well, easily, if not maybe some damage on the T3. But in the meantime, in the mid lane and in bottom lane, Arthrix is pushing mid, and the Spider is pushing bottom lane with the help of Merluni. He could drop and all. No, he's going to just keep that and probably TP back, maybe defend their own T3 with it.
Someone's beaming
Sand
in.
King
This
is
would be
TPing in. He can stun. Ooh. Oh, he's in a little trouble now. He gets dusted. Nice little stun there onto the Haunter bot, but he's still probably going to pay for this with his life. The Ags does get finished. Oh, the Spiderling spawn does not quite have enough damage to hit him. But the Shadow Word, 5 health left with the Shadow Word.
I think the one thing that Hunterbot wasn't quite expecting was the Caustic Finale just destroying all of his Spiderlings and causing some pretty good damage to him as well. It took about almost half of his health just with the stun and the Caustic Finale, so I don't think he was quite expecting that. Otherwise, he probably would have asked for the ult from the Warlock.
But now that he's got the Ag Scepter too, it's going to be even more troublesome. A wave of spiders is going to be essentially useless if the Sand King is around. Yeah. 2,500 gold onto the Gyrocopter right now. Also interesting to see what he's going to do. I would expect like a BKB here. I mean, so you can stay strong through the stuns that they do have. But maybe he's just going to go for something like a Satanic to try to tank up even more. I don't really know. With
Beaverdog playing as well as he is, I think a BKB is a pretty smart pick.
He's going to go in for a kill here. He's going to throw out the prison. Now he's in some trouble. He gets silenced up. Four staffs into the almost towards the trees. Throws out a Rod of Alley. But the Gyrocopter ult comes down in here. And here's a Void ult. Catches both of them. Shadow Fiend ult to follow. The Gyrocopter's going to die. Beaver throws out his ult. He picks up 2 kills. And here goes. Oh, the rest of the team is going to die. Haunterbot is the only one left. And he has no health. Does catch him out. And the Sand King Sandstorm is going to pick up the last kill, so a team wipe for NA as the 2 supports and the offlane are the only ones to survive. And what a fight there. That Disruptor did so much work and got almost 4,000 experience out of that fight.
Wow, that fight I could have seen gone a lot of different ways depending on little things that are done differently, so unfortunate for Dumpster Squad, they didn't quite pull it off, but I think if that Void ult would have been a little bit, wouldn't have caught the Witch Doctor in there and he could have got his ult off, I think it could have been a very different story. And now they're going to be moving up this bottom lane here and get some chip damage on it while all the Dire kind of respawns. Let's see if, nope, they're going to back up.
So Sand King picked up a point booster. I think Octarine next?
Yeah.
It's gotta be what it is.
I don't know what else it would be. That sounds the only other really option with a point booster. It's an interesting idea.
I mean, it's really good in that it's going to take the cooldown of that Epicenter, which they really need, down even more. And it's going to make the cooldown of Burrow Strike something like 7 seconds. I mean, so he's going to have 1,300 range Burrow Strike every 7 seconds. That's crazy. And then he should be able to heal up from damage given by the Sandstorm and from the Epicenter as well. So if he can get it, great. Beaverdog, lost in the sight. He did use the Rod of Atos on him, but loses him into the trees. Cast comes out. It's going to hit Beaverdog only since the Phoenix elects to use the ult there. They don't catch anybody with it, but a good way to dodge that double stun there that could have been really dangerous with the whole Dumpster Squad team standing right there.
Void looked like he wanted to go in with an ult, but he didn't quite get there fast enough, and Beaverdog's just fast enough and gets well ahead of him, and he's not able to go in. Uses the Rod of Owie on Merluni there, but I think it was just more of a harass. Just, hey, you stay over there. I don't want you anywhere near me. Phoenix or Void goes in on Phoenix, but just kind of casually walks away. Thought he was gonna try to ult there, but decides not to.
So yeah, Arms at Hand is going Chrysalis now. Probably some following a Daedalus, pick up some damage.
Hunterbot's doing his thing down here in bottom lane, but his team is the rest of his team is up here in the mid lane and a little bit of Shadow Fiend just slightly behind him. And all of the other side is just gathered up there. I think they want to fight. Yep, here it comes. Phoenix's ult, call down is down. Void ult comes out, tries to pick off as much as he can. Sanity's Clips comes down, just destroys the rest of the team.
Here comes the disruption into the ult, and he dies before he can even get there.
And I think this Warlock ult is just going to get mopped up. Yep, there it goes.
So Beaverdog electing to go Hyperstone, probably a Moon Shard here. He's got the gold for it if he wants it. I mean, I don't know that he really needs to worry about buyback right now with 3 dead and the Void ult down for... Oh, the Void ult will be up by the time he gets back, I guess. But the Warlock ult is down for 130, so they're pretty secure in this. Sand King goes to defend bottom with Disruptor. Since the Disruptor ult is down, they don't really need him tagging along. May go for Roche here.
I mean, I think that the Spider's doing what he should be doing, but unfortunately, with the 5-man side all gathering up on NA, it's really hard for DS to have any really decent fights. So here comes, they're going to pick off the Spider now.
A great Burrow strike. Captain Fields using himself as bait there, and Honorbot falls right for it as his team cleans up that Spider. The thing is that they're not even having to 5-man. Gyrocopter almost exclusively is sticking with that Spider in lane, and so he's just kind of sitting there holding him back while the rest of his team does damage. Or if he does go for a team fight, they always keep the TP on like the Sand King, who can just TP in, Burrow strike Sandstorm. There's nothing Spider can do. His Spiderlings are going to die so quickly to that huge range of the Caustic Finale. So they have really good tools for dealing with the Spider right now.
Looks like they're going to try picking up this tower, and then I'm thinking probably Roche, maybe? Oh, they're all
yeah.
Maybe not. It might be a little
They
scary.
could just continue on here. I mean, the Spider is dead, and they do have a Sand King ult up. They have the Disruptor ult up. Sand King going to buy, so he's not in position to fight right now. And yeah, it is going to be the Soul Booster pickup, so he's definitely looking for that Octarine core. Phoenix is in the middle of nowhere. He's just daring them to come in on him so he can, do that. And they're going to throw some attacks up. Here comes the Disruptor all into the stun.
Oh, the Phoenix egg got off! He stays alive! Holy
ended
cow!
that with 1 hit left on it. If either one of those heroes would have gotten a hit on that egg, it would have died. Amazing stun there from Mom for the last second, using all of that 1300 range. And GG, well played, is the call as Not Another Dota Clan picks up a 2-0 victory.
Wow, that was a hell of a last little engagement there. I do feel it was probably a little bit of an outdraft by NA. I just didn't really feel the Broodmother really did a whole lot for their team.
MVP of this game is the Sand King. Mama Bird, you were in a little bit of precarious positions last game, but when you got the opportunity to farm in this game and you picked up that early Blink Dagger, you did so much work with it that your team should credit you with this win, I think.
I 100% agree. MVP definitely goes to the Mama Bird playing on the Sand King. And I think that wraps it up for this evening. We'll be back probably next Thursday once the schedules get posted, and we'll be covering another team as the AD2L Season 10 continues on for the next couple weeks. So anything else you'd like to do? Any shout-outs there, Legion?
No, shout out to All About Dota. Follow us if you like what we do. Download our replays. Check out our YouTube page. We're going to do AD2L, hopefully some RD2L, and other stuff if it comes up. So if you need casters, let us know, and that's it.
Great. Well, for Legion 170, I'm Sequoia Dota, signing off. Catch you guys next time.